What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Smash JT. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Contra Anniversary Collection and the full list of games that have been officially announced by Konami. This collection is coming available early summer 2019, and Konami finally doing some things right. You know, listening to the customers and giving them what they're asking for. So here we are on Konami's official website for the Contra Anniversary Collection, and looking at the full game list, they have still not updated it. We're looking at Contra, Super C, and Contra 3, The Alien Wars. But wait, Smash, you said you have the full game list. This is clickbait. What the hell, man? You told me we were going to have all the games. Look, alright. The weird thing about this is the games have officially been announced, but not on Konami's website. They actually allowed IGN to break the story instead, which is weird. Very odd that they do that. Maybe they were just in such a rush that they just couldn't wait to have these games put out there for the public to see that they didn't have a chance to even update their website. It's just weird. It's a very strange decision. But anyways, here is the official post from Konami on Twitter saying, check out the IGN reveal of the Contra Anniversary Collection's complete lineup. And Konami is sharing IGN's article with all the games in it. Again, very strange, but here is the official game list posted to IGN. The full Contra Anniversary Collection lineup includes Contra from the arcade, which, for those of you who recall, the game itself, it plays on a very skinny vertical screen, not what most people are used to. The old school arcade was one of those long cabinets. It didn't really have the full-on horizontal view like the TV did on the NES. Still a fantastic experience, though. Super Contra from the arcade, similar thing with that as well. Super C from the NES, Contra 3 The Alien Wars, Super Nintendo, and then the new ones that have been added to the collection are Contra Hardcore on the Sega Genesis, Contra from the NES, which most people probably assumed would be there, Contra from the Famicom, the Japanese version of the NES Contra, Operation C from the Game Boy, which is a fantastically underrated Contra game. I believe that was the first game that featured the homing gun in the Contra series. I spent many a nights in a dimly lit room playing the hell out of that game. Fun experience. I'm personally very excited that more people will be able to experience that retro title specifically. I love that Konami is including Game Boy games in these collections. They had the Castlevania Adventure, which not necessarily the greatest Castlevania experience, but still a fun game in its own right, and it was really cool that it made it into the Castlevania collection, and similar with Operation C making it into this. I love that they're putting retro games from the Game Boy in these collections. Probotector and Super Probotector, those are games that were the European variants of Contra, and the word itself, fun fact, is a combination of protector and robot. That was something they did, I believe, because there was wars going on in Iran back then, and they wanted to distinctly separate themselves from the Iran-Contra war, so they changed the name in the European release for those, and made a lot of the stuff robots instead of real people. So, interesting direction that the series went in, and this is a fantastic way to experience every single one of these retro Contra titles. Now, I will say, just off the top of my head, there are a few that come to mind that are missing. The biggest being Contra 4 from the Nintendo DS, and while it's not necessarily a retro title because the DS is newer than a lot of the systems that these other games coming in the collection were on, Contra 4 was an excellent game, and it kind of sucks that it's not being ported. It might be due to the dual screens and the issues with emulation and making it run on just one screen on the Switch, but it would have been possible, and it would have been great to see this on there, but that's just a minor gripe. I mean, if we're going to be talking about this entire collection, all of these games included on it, and it's only going to be $20, especially when you consider it's coming to all the major platforms: Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC in the form of Steam. There is going to be a ton of ways to play these games, and for that price, it's going to be really hard to say no to it. Yes, it could have included Contra 4. Yes, there are other games that they could have added in to make a complete collection on every single Contra game that's ever been made. The PlayStation 1 Contra games, things like that as well. But I mean, this is specifically a direct retro throwback game where they just wanted to include all the very old school Contras. Something, like I said, a lot of people are going to be perfectly satisfied with. The game comes out summer 2019, and as of right now, it's just going to be digital and no plans on a physical edition yet. But it kind of seems like that might change in the future if rumors about Konami's Castlevania collection are to be believed. Then all of these collections may eventually get a physical release, something I'm truly hoping for. Now, on top of those games that I mentioned, players will also get Japanese versions of 6 Contra games: Contra from the arcade, Super Contra from the arcade, Super C, Contra 3 The Alien Wars, Operation C, and Contra Hardcore. These games are all going to be Japanese variants with a few changes, additions, and graphical updates to them. So for people who may have missed out on the variants and the Japanese side of things, this collection will have all of those as well in it. These additional games will come as a free update for those who buy the collection, which means they may not debut with the game when it launches. The collection also comes with a digital bonus book of extras that provides a comprehensive look into Contra's history and beginnings, something that I, in particular, am very excited to check out, because if it's anything like the Castlevania comprehensive look at the series history, it's going to be fantastic, something that us retro enthusiasts will definitely eat up. Now, that is everything we know about the Contra collection coming from Konami. Odd that they had IGN reveal it instead of coming specifically from Konami's website, but as you can see, this is a live look at their website, and they still have not added the new games that IGN has announced. But it is official because Konami's Twitter has shared IGN's link saying, check out the official list of games. And like I said, coming early summer 2019, digital only at present. Hopefully that changes. The Contra Anniversary Collection brings this classic run-and-gun franchise back to modern platforms and new generation of gamers, which is something that if people were frustrated and infuriated that there's no virtual console on the Nintendo Switch and no way to play these retro games on any of the other consoles involved with it, look, we got something. These companies are feeding that hunger that we all have for these games, and for the price of $20, it would be cheaper than buying these individually on any kind of eShop virtual console anyways. So ultimately, it's a good deal. And by having a collection put together, even though it's digital only, it at least gives the opportunity to have a maybe limited run of a physical release in the future, or a full-on release, physical release in the future, where a virtual console would never give that opportunity to us. So there are some good things coming out of this. I'm personally very excited for it. Definitely a day one pickup. Just like the Castlevania collection, this one is totally going to be worth it. Grab power-ups and blast your way through waves of menacing enemies and bosses that will put your gamer reaction skills to the test. Yes, this is what old school gaming was defined by, especially the Konami code. Alone or with a friend, Contra provides hours of nail-biting action. In a pinch, make sure you know the code. There we go. The Contra Anniversary Collection full game title list has been announced, and tons of variants from different regions also being included via an update. So, I mean, what more could you ask for as far as old school retro Contra games? They're all here. Yes, like I said, it's missing some newer ones from the DS, PS1, and beyond, but this is good, and maybe in the future, Who knows? Maybe Konami will make a Contra Collection 2 and include all of those more modernized Contra games. That would be fantastic. That's all I got for you guys today as far as the Contra Collection is concerned. Let me know what you think about it. Is it going to be worth the dive for 20 bucks USD, or have you already had your fill of these games and you're kind of done with the scene of these collections, these cash grabs as some of people are calling it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash,